Hello, everybody, and welcome to the New Flame Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Andrew, along with Kareem and Dean, back for Super Bowl weekend, and this is our second try doing this. We tried to record it via WeVideo. That did not work. As soon as I left a different tab, it just stopped recording. So this is our second attempt. Thankfully, I noticed it before, we finished, and, we were only, 15 minutes in. But, yeah, we're gonna try to shorten this show up a little bit so I can get it out before the Super Bowl. So yeah. Let's start it out with the NFL honors. Starting with Offensive Rookie of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year. Then we're gonna go Defensive Rookie of the Year, then Offensive Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, Coach of the Year. Then I believe there was a Play of the Year, I guess we won't talk about the Fantasy Player of the Year. And then obviously MVP, and then a special thing that they did for Hayden Hurst. I guess we can start with that. If you did not know, you didn't watch it, or you didn't catch it, the NFL Honors actually commemorated Hayden Hurst, the Falcons tight end, for his battle with mental health and coming over that. He almost took his own life, and he was thought that he was given a second chance, and he wasn't going let it, and that he was going to take advantage of it, and that's exactly what he did. So the NFL Honors and the NFL decided to honor and commemorate his battle through his mental health. And I just wanted to say that's I believe that is a fantastic thing that the NFL did, because not many knew until this year when he actually revealed it. So just applause for the NFL that they actually did that. So yeah, that's all I wanted to say about that. On to the actual awards themselves. We'll start with Play of the Year just because it's not very big or anything like that. Obviously, had to go to the Hail Murray. Dolphins had 3 chances at winning an award: Defensive Player of the Year, Coach of the Year, and Play of the Year, obviously with Fitzmagic's toss-up to Mac Hollins. Obviously, that didn't win. Hail Murray did, which totally makes sense. DeAndre Hopkins just completely mossed 3 defenders at the same time. And 3 pretty good defenders, one of the top 5 corner in the game, and then, 2 very good safeties, in Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer. So yeah, Play of the Year, Hail Murray, 100% deserved that. So yeah. Next, Offensive Rookie of the Year, Justin Herbert broke so many rookie records, broke Baker Mayfield's touchdown record, I believe, the completions record, the completion percentage record, I believe, the first down record. He just set so many records, and he was just so fun to watch this year. Obviously, in his first career start, took the Chiefs into overtime. He led the Chargers into overtime versus the Chiefs. Obviously, they lost that game, but still, for your first NFL start, you lead the defending Super Bowl champs, almost said World Series there, into overtime. That is very impressive. So, Justin Herbert obviously deserved this award, much like the next 2 guys that we are going to talk about. Defensive Rookie of the Year, Chase Young. I believe this was so obvious. I think Jeremy Chin had Jeremy Chin was obviously the next best to win it, and I just don't think he compares to Chase Young. In the season he had just so menacing to go up against Chase Young. He's so fast, so athletic, and showed it, racking up 7.5 sacks for him this year. Now, Offensive Player of the Year goes to Derrick Henry. Now, obviously, I was honestly expecting Devontae Adams to at least come top 3, if not win it, but that did not happen. It went to Titans running back Derrick Henry, rushed for over 2,000 yards, first one to do it since Adrian Peterson. 17 touchdowns, obviously led the league. So I definitely do think all 3 of those awards were definitely deserved, unlike the next one we're going to talk about before. But before I go on my little rant here, I'm going to give this over to Kareem and Dean to say what they think about these first 3 awards that were handed out last night at the NFL Honors.
Okay, so obviously I'm just going to start with the Offensive Rookie of the Year, Justin Herbert. a great performance this season. Like Andrew said, taking the Chiefs to overtime and taking the dub against them. I feel like with Justin Herbert at the beginning of the season, people really didn't believe that he would really be in any sort of contention. People thought it would be Joe Burrow, Tua. We all know how that went, especially with Joe Burrow and his torn ACL. But Justin Jefferson really made a strong case making that award. So I'm going to go now to the defensive Rookie of the Year. No surprise here, Chase Young. Big part, big sack on fourth down, or big stop, sorry,
Yeah.
on fourth down to against the Steelers to stop their undefeated season. Great team, great front seven. They got Montez Sweat and Chase Young on the line, and then they got the veteran Ryan Kerrigan coming from left outside. And then just the player of the year, offensive player of the year, my bad, Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry, great season, rushed for over 2,000 yards, got that in his last game. Throwing defenders, it's always either against, I feel like it's always either against like Jacksonville or Houston. He always has a big run against them.
Yeah, it's always versus his division rivals.
Yeah. But 6'3", 225, I think, and shoots so fast with that strength. So I'm going to hand this to Kareem for his thoughts on these awards. All right, yes, let's start off with Offensive Rookie of the Year, Justin Herbert. Guys like Justin Jefferson and Jonathan Taylor both made pretty good arguments for this one, but Justin Herbert just did so much that outweighed the rest. Justin Herbert, 36 pass touchdowns, obviously broke a couple more rookie records. So, yeah, I think Herbert really deserved this one the most. Obviously not playing that week one, but after that whole Tyrod Taylor thing, we ended up getting to see Justin Herbert and seeing how well he played. Defensive Rookie of the Year, Chase Young, once again, no doubt with this one. I think that maybe Jeremy Chin made a slight argument for this award, but I just don't think there was any chance that it was going to be him. I think Chase Young really did the best out of all those guys, and I don't see how anyone else would win that award besides Chase Young. Obviously, how much he did to help the Washington football team go to the playoffs. So, Offensive Player of the Year, Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry, obviously 2,000 yards. Obviously now on the list of guys like Adrian Peterson and CJ2K. Derrick Henry needed 200 yards in his last game to hit that 2,000, and well, he did. He had a couple 200 rush yards game, which is quite incredible. We haven't seen something like that in a long time. So yeah, I think this award was very deserving. I thought Davante Adams might win it, but to see he wasn't a finalist was quite shocking. Obviously, Derrick Henry, Travis Kelce, some other guys were there too. So yeah, I think Derrick Henry. I think from the competition, I think he outweighed the competition. But if Davante Adams was there, I think it would have been a lot closer. So yeah, I like the decision from the NFL and from the AP and stuff like that to make the decisions on what they chose. So I'm gonna hand this one back to Andrew to announce the Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah, and I am very sad. Xavier Howard, who I thought deserved it the most, did not get it, and it didn't even go to the guy who I thought deserved it second most. It went to Aaron Donald, and excluding Xavier Howard here, I'm gonna read you some major stats and just how much more dominant T.J. Watt was this year. T.J. Watt's stats will be first and then Aaron Donald, so I'll be like this number, then this number. The first number is T.J. Watt, second number is Donald. Alright, tackles 53 to 41, sacks 15 to 13.5, tackles for loss 23 to 12, pressures 55 to 42, QB hits 41 to 26, forced fumbles 2 to 4, pass defenses 7 to 1, interceptions 1 to 0. Now you could say, oh, those pass defenses and the interceptions, because technically TJ Watt is a linebacker, but all he does is rush the quarterback. So I just don't know, at least out of those two, how TJ Watt didn't win it. Normally if someone were to do that exact same season, they'd win it. But, the NFL just loves Aaron Donald, I guess. Yeah, so he got it. Somehow, some way, he did. It's very unfortunate. I definitely do think Watt deserved it a little more than him. But and then Xavier Howard, I just don't understand how he didn't win. He obviously had one of the most dominant cornerback seasons in a while, obviously going back to 2019, and Stephon Gilmore, and Xavier Howard, who arguably had a better season than him. You know, like, and Gilmore won it, but Howard didn't. It just doesn't make sense to me. Um, we're on a little bit of a time crunch. If we weren't, then I would definitely be going on a little longer about this. But yeah, I just don't understand how he didn't win. So yeah, if you guys want to say anything about that, or you guys think I said everything, we can just go on to comeback up. Coach of the year, I mean.
Yeah, just a little thing. I agree. I don't think T.J. Watt or Aaron Donald should have won it, and I agree Xavier Howard would have won it. And yeah, maybe T.J. Watt was better at his position than Xavier Howard was, but I just hate the Steelers and I hate Steelers players except for Joe Hayden because they did so much for Cleveland. So yeah, I agree it should have been Xavier Howard because I don't think Aaron Donald was deserving enough, and I just don't like T.J. Watt. I don't know what else to say. Obviously, you made a really strong case about Xavier Howard, who, honestly, yeah, probably should have won Defensive Player of the Year. Aaron Donald didn't put up as good as numbers as T.J. Watt. The winner was Aaron Donald, obviously, T.J. Watt. Definitely was probably the second favorite, but people are just sleeping on cornerbacks. And Xavier Howard played a monster season with down there in Miami, Florida. So yeah, I really not much else to say from here. I'm just gonna send this one back to Andrew there.
Alright, and now on to Coach of the Year. Another award in which a Dolphins had the chance of winning, but unfortunately did not. Obviously, I 100% Kevin Stefanski deserved this. He took the Browns, who were a complete mess last year, Freddie Kitchens, into a playoff team. One bad call from, possibly making the AFC Championship game. And to be honest, I think they would have put up a fight versus the Bills. I think they could have. But obviously, Kevin Stefanski, I just didn't see a world in which he did. So obviously this was the clear and obvious choice. But I just maybe it's just my Dolphins bias. But how did Matt LaFleur get more votes than Brian Flores? How? Yeah, we knew the Packers were gonna be good. We knew they were gonna be good, but we assumed the Browns were gonna be good just because just the talent on that roster. But Stefanski just made it work. But we all knew LaFleur was. We all knew the Packers were gonna be good. If anything, that kicking the field goal thing in the NFC Championship game hurt his chances of winning it, of at least coming in second. But so LaFleur, I believe it was LaFleur. It might have been Sean McDermott. I might be getting.
No, it was LaFleur.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was 99% sure. So LaFleur got 7 votes and Flores got 6. Why? I definitely do believe Stefanski deserved at least half. There were 50 voters and he got 26, right?
25, I believe.
Oh, 25 voters, or that's how many he got?
That's how many he got.
Okay, so yeah, I definitely believe that he should have gotten maybe even a little bit more, maybe closer to that 30 range. Obviously other guys that could have gotten votes, Sean McDermott got some votes, Mike Vrabel probably got some votes, just trying to think of other teams here, Pete Carroll even, I don't know, yeah, but I just don't understand. How did Flores only get 6 and LaFleur got 7? We knew the Packers were gonna be good. Everyone thought the Dolphins. Yeah, we knew the Chiefs were gonna be good. No one expected the Dolphins to get 10 wins. Everyone was like, oh yeah, they're just gonna get another 5-win season, get a top 10 draft pick. I mean, which we do, but get a top 10 of their own draft pick, and then get a quarterback or whatever because they don't like Tua or whatever. But yeah. That's all I'm gonna say for Coach of the Year. I'm gonna give it to you guys to praise about your boy Kevin Stefanski.
Obviously that's my boy Kevin Stefanski. All the playoffs and 0-16 and 1-15 and Oh man, I've never seen the Browns make a playoff. Never seen them have 11-win season. Um, it is a great feeling to know that going into this offseason we have a head coach that has proven himself and has won
that
coach of
you
the
have a competent head coach.
and obviously Freddie Kitchens last year, such a disappointment.
Big.
Definitely just. I mean, if there's ever like a bust for coaches, he's it.
Yeah.
You know, every single year people say, "Oh, look at the Browns' talent; they're gonna make the playoff." Blah blah blah, and everyone's seen it so much how they didn't make it, and then this year they're like, "It's probably not gonna happen again." Chris Sims was calling it a dumpster fire when they hired Kevin Stefanski. Um, So it's a great feeling to know that Kevin Stefanski won it. And yes, Brian Flores made a great case for winning it too. What he has done in Miami is crazy. It's amazing what he's done. But obviously the winner Kevin Stefanski for my Cleveland Browns. So I gotta give this a grade. All right, I'm gonna be straight up and honest. I don't know if Andrew remembers this, but I remember I was not too crazy about the Stefanski hire. I was a Josh McDaniels guy, and I was a Robert Saleh guy. I wasn't crazy about Stefanski. And I mean, after everything that happened with Freddie Kitchens, I didn't want Freddie Kitchens when they hired him. I was like, this ain't gonna be great. But I mean, Stefanski turned the whole thing around, and the Browns started winning games. And I mean, 1-15, 0-16. That's the Browns team I remember. 11-5 is not the Browns team I remember. I mean, it's weird. I mean, now we have Coach of the Year and not Coach for next year. So I don't really know what to think. It's weird being a Browns fan at this time. Januaries were never as free.
Oh yeah, Steve Hovey said.
They're not really. We're busy now because we're watching playoff games for our team. So it's weird because, I mean, we're worried about the draft, but it's not like we're crazy worried. I mean, there's a lot of free agent stuff. It's weird, We're not, like, waiting for coaches to be done their games and hiring guys. I mean, it was a great season. I'm just hoping we can continue it because I really don't want to have a one-year wonder coach, or else that'd be really, really terrible.
Imagine 1-year wonders. Alright, now we're not gonna spend a whole lot of time on this one, because this was the most obvious award, comeback player of the year. If you don't say it's Alex Smith, get out. And how did, I hate to, keep saying this, because I said it last night. I was like, when I was talking to my mom, I don't understand how Big Ben got a single vote. Yeah, you can say, oh, but his throwing arm or whatever, or he had a better season. But Alex Smith went from being told he was never gonna play again, that was just a fact, to oh yeah, this is bad, you're never gonna walk again, to oh, this is really, really bad, we might have to cut off your leg, we might have to amputate your leg, to winning the division. And putting up, yes, he did not play in that wild code game, but he won the division. I don't care. You could say that defense, but I do believe Alex Smith was the main reason they won that division. Obviously, I mean, besides the defense, because they were playing horribly with Dwayne Haskins. They were playing just absolutely horribly. Everyone was like, haha, what a joke of a team, and all that. Don't even have a name. And then Dwayne Haskins get benched for Kyle Allen. Obviously, Kyle Allen gets hurt, gets injured, much like Dak Prescott's injury. And then Alex Smith comes in, and he goes 6-2, something like that. Maybe even.
Yeah, I mean, don't forget, he almost died from his injury.
Exactly. I forgot to even mention that. It went from, yeah, we might have to amputate your legs, to, oh, you might die. This is so bad. It's just, I hate to keep saying it, but I really don't understand how one person voted for Big Ben. You could say all you want. Oh, he had a better season and all that, but I don't know. I just think the comeback means more than the season, because I don't even care if it was a third string guy who on his first career carry, that Alex Smith's injury happened to him, and then he made a comeback in 1.5 years, which is incredible. Alex Smith came back in 1.5 years. Um, and then he came back, and even if he only played one down, that third string running back, only if he just came into the game for one play, I think it would be the exact same thing. I think he would have. I think he should have won it just because the fact that he almost died over a guy that, yes, he had a fantastic season and led his team to 11-0 and like making the playoffs and all that. And let us not forget, Alex Smith beat Ben Roethlisberger. So I'm just saying. So anyway, that's all I'm gonna say about comeback player of the year. Now the big one, the biggest of all awards, MVP goes to Patrick Mahomes. I was half expecting that. Just kidding. Aaron Rodgers is your 2020-21 NFL MVP. I am so happy. They finally didn't just praise Mahomes. I have always said that Mahomes is overrated. He is so good. He is like he will be the greatest of all time when his career is over. I think, but I just think he is overrated by the media, not by like fans or anything, or a little bit by Chiefs fans, but by the media and like ESPN and all this. I do think he is. But anyway, Aaron Rodgers. Let me just pull up his stats real quick. Aaron Rodgers. But yeah, I was like for real half expecting to for whoever announced it to be like Patrick Mahomes. I would have been so mad if he did. Alright, let's see. 2020 for Aaron Rodgers. 70.7 completion percentage. Led the league. 48 touchdowns. Led the league. 5 interceptions. Let's see what else we got here. QBR 80.4. Led the league. It's just, let's see, how many yards did he have? 4,299. If only he got one more, would have been 4,300 on the dot. But yeah, this one was just so obvious, in my opinion. There was just no reason for Aaron Rodgers not to get it. So yeah, definitely believe Aaron Rodgers was the man for the job for MVP. So, why don't I give it to you guys, to, what you think about the MVP, Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers, very well deserved. I mean, Andrew, I just want to let you know, you called Patrick Mahomes overrated and the GOAT in the same sentence.
Yeah, I know that makes no sense, but like, no, he's not the GOAT yet. He will be, but I think he is overrated by the media. They make him out to be like this, like.
100%. I believe the Browns probably, if they had a defense, probably would have single-handedly took it to the Chiefs. But let's just get back on track to Aaron Rodgers here. Obviously he has very good receivers.
He has one good receiver and a good tight end and a good running back.
Well, he has.
But you look at the.
He has Devontae Adams.
Well, Alan Lazard.
Alan Lazard's on and off.
Yeah, he does a lot of the dirty work, like underneath work.
Yeah, taking the drag routes and stuff.
Yeah.
A player who's obviously going to be in that conversation for greatest quarterback of all time, Aaron Rodgers. Top 10, or maybe not top 10,
yeah.
Top 15.
It's like it's like, I hate to interrupt you, but like this thought just came to me. We are witnessing some of the greatest quarterbacks to ever play right now. Drew Brees, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, and then like the next generation of guys like Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Kyler Murray. What? What did you say? No. But yeah, that thought just came to me. Dean, continue.
Obviously Aaron Rodgers, an amazing quarterback. Honestly, wasn't very surprised that he won. I feel like most people would win. But I just want to say something really quick. This is super off topic about Cleveland. I know we're talking about Aaron Rodgers, but I feel like one thing the Browns just needs to say this year: you don't need a good quarterback to win games. Because Baker's decent, but
yeah, I think he's above average.
All right, I'm back on Aaron Rodgers. All around great quarterback. He can run. I feel like.
He's a very underrated scrambler. He just put a move on Leonard Floyd in the divisional round. I was like, ooh.
Yeah.
I was like, ooh.
obviously very good at evading the pocket, always, throwing 60-yard bombs to win the game in like the AFC wild card round or something like that.
AFC.
NFC. I'm, um, just obviously a great quarterback.
Yeah, super well deserving of this award. Kareem, what do you think about Aaron Rodgers and his MVP campaign in 2020?
Well, I'm gonna say it right now. This one was quite obvious. There's a lot of guys that could have won it if Aaron Rodgers wasn't a person. Josh Allen could have won it if Aaron Rodgers wasn't a person. If Aaron Rodgers and Josh Allen weren't people, Patrick Mahomes might have been able to win it. If Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes, and Josh Allen were people, Deshaun Watson might have been.
Yeah, I personally think Deshaun Watson should have came in fourth. Even third. Maybe even third ahead of Mahomes.
Mahomes, yeah. I thought Deshaun Watson would come ahead of Mahomes. But I think also, like, team-wise...
Because, like, if you, like, they were 4-12, how can you be the most valuable player on a bad team?
Yeah.
Like...
I'm gonna just keep it nice and simple. Aaron Rodgers won it. I agree with the decision. It was a bit of a shaky night on some decisions. Really, Defensive Player of the Year was a big one. But, yeah, I'm happy with the decision, and I think Aaron Rodgers was the most deserving candidate.
Yeah. I definitely do think they got most of these awards right, except for Defensive Player of the Year, obviously. Even if it doesn't go to Xavier Howard, it should have gone to TJ Watt. I definitely do think they got most of them right. Obviously, I was expecting Devonta Adams to get more votes. Obviously, MVP Aaron Rodgers. Let us know what you think in the comment section below, what you thought of the NFL honors. And now, obviously, onto the biggest sporting event of the year, the Puppy Bowl. Yes, just kidding. The Super Bowl. Chiefs, Buccaneers. Tonight, 6:30 Eastern. Get hyped. Last week, like I said, we're gonna do our big breakdown of this game this week, and I'll go ahead and start off. I'm just gonna give you some background for this game. They've played before this season. Now that was when the Chiefs have been. Now, obviously, the Chiefs have been firing on all cylinders all year, but this was back when the Bucs were like, aliens and Brady, they were always fighting and all this stuff, and all that. It was back all during that, and so I definitely do think the Buccaneers are a much different team now. They have definitely gotten their stuff together. They know that what works and what doesn't. Aliens isn't trying to make Brady a whole new quarterback now, so which he was doing in that game before, but in that game, Chiefs won 27-24. I left it was 27-13 with 5 minutes left. Bucks got 2 touchdowns, made it interesting, but it did not feel like a 3-point game at all, especially in that first quarter in which Tyreek Hill had the 203 yards and 2 touchdowns added. Then he also added 65 yards and a touchdown in in the later quarters. That's just not gonna happen again this game. I just don't. There's just no way. It's the Super Bowl. No way the NFL would make it like that. Just kidding. It could. For all we know, it could. Who knows? Bucks are a different team now, like I said, than they were at the beginning of November, early December. And to be honest, I do think this game is going to come down to a defensive stop. I just don't see either offenses slowing down, even versus the Bucks' elite defense, which carries Tom Brady, and the Chiefs' the decent defense. Obviously they got some good pieces in Rashad Breeland, L'Jarius Sneed, Tyrann Matthew, and Chris Jones, and Pro Bowler Frank Clark. Pro Bowler Frank Clark makes me so mad. But anyway, yeah. I just think that this game, obviously, it means so much for the sport. The fact that they were able to go through an entire season with COVID, and now obviously the NFL had the advantage of starting later in the year. Meanwhile, basketball and hockey, basketball was mid-season. They had to just shut it down for a couple months, come back in the bubble. MLB had to delay until August, 60-game season, and all that fun stuff. Hockey had to be shut down for a little bit. Um, so I just think this is very important for the game, for the league, and all that stuff. And what you can say. So yeah, I am going to give it to Kareem and Dean to think to give their opinions on some things that could happen, and yeah.
Most anticipated game of the season, the Super Bowl 55 in Tampa Bay. First time we've seen a Super Bowl being played in one of the team's home stadium. So, you know, Tyreek Hill, obviously the game before, wasn't too close. Obviously, Chiefs taking that one, but it very could be closer game this time. The defense just needs to step up. Honestly, in my opinion, Devin White, Shaq Barrett,
Antoine Winfield.
Dominican Sue.
Antoine Winfield. I'm not. Sean Murphy Bunting. Yeah, like Carlton Davis and all these guys. Yeah.
I'm thinking of Levante David. My bad. Just if the defense steps up against one of the top offenses in the league, this game will be really close. Tom Brady having a lot of guys to throw to now. Mike Evans, AB, Gronk, Godwin. So I think that this is gonna go to the Chiefs, but I gotta give this one to Chris. Take it. I don't really see the Bucs win this one, but I mean, if the Bucs win, it's gonna be a crappy day down here in New England for Patriots fans. But I mean, it's really a win-win no matter what. If Tom Brady wins, Patriots fans are mad, and if Tom Brady loses, some Patriots fans are also mad. So it's a win-win for all people that are not Patriots fans. No matter what happens, really, because you get to clown your friends and your Patriot fan friends either way. So I'm still gonna take the Chiefs in this one. I think the last drive is just gonna be I do think it's gonna be because of a defensive stop. I do think it's just gonna end in a kneel out for the Chiefs. I take the Chiefs 31-24. I don't see how the Bucs really can stop the Chiefs offense, and the Chiefs defense still isn't that bad. Obviously, you got some household names in Tyrann Mathieu, the Honey Badger, Chris Jones, Hitchens. So I'm gonna take the Chiefs in this one in the 7-point game, 31-24.
Alright, now the keys to the game for the Chiefs is going to be working that outside of the field, like out routes, post route, not post routes, corner routes, and all these. Chiefs Bucs have some of the best linebackers in all of football, Levante David, Shaq Barrett, Devin White, very fast, athletic group. They're so like running crossing routes, which is like what they did versus the Browns, what they did versus like other teams that don't have amazing defenses. The Bucs do have an amazing defense, so I do think that they're gonna have to work the outside of the field, try to work the outside of the field, move the ball that way, opposed to like what they've been doing, and attack and expose the Bucs' weak points of that defense, which happens to be their cornerbacks. Sean Murphy Bunting has an interception in all of their postseason games, so who knows? Maybe that continues. So yeah. And now for the Bucs, it is going to keep the offense on the field. Let Brady do what he was doing in New England all those years. Like working the middle of the field, attacking the linebackers, throwing crossing routes, taking the occasional deep ball. So run the ball as well. That's gonna be a major factor. Just avoid Chris Jones and Pro Bowler Frank Clark. I will forever say that. To avoid them and just try to make sure you don't run at them, because if you do, that will not be a fun day. Ronald Jones and Leonard Fournette are going to have to be very smart, in choosing where they want to go, how they want to block those guys, and so yeah. Do you guys have anything to add on to that? Any other things that you think these teams should do, like on defense or on offense or anything like that?
Well, just to add on to what you're saying about the Bucks and their offense, I mean, it's absolutely right. You never want to see Patrick Mahomes on the field because he can pretty much do anything. Throw with his left hand, throw with his right hand. So I mean, you got to keep Patrick Mahomes in that terrifying offense off the field because obviously, as Andrew mentioned, they're the weak spots are their corners, which still aren't that bad. You've got guys like Jamal Dean back there and Sean Murphy Bunting, but I think that Chiefs are still going to find a way to win. I don't think the Bucks offense will do enough to keep the Chiefs offense off the field. So yeah, I think that Andrew said everything right. And if you are the Bucks, you're going to do your best to keep Mahomes off the field. But I just don't see how long they can do it for.
Alright, and now fun times are ahead. Let's give some predictions. Obviously Kareem gave us his game score, which was 24-31. I think it is going to be high scoring, a lot of fun to watch. I think it is going to end in a 31-38 Chiefs win. Yes, I'm going with the Chiefs. Oh, what a shocker. And to be honest, I do see that happening, not just because I don't like Tom Brady. And to be honest, as much as I don't want Tom Brady to win, I probably don't want Antonio Brown to win even more. What a horrible human being. He's given way too many shots, like we said, when he was signed. So yeah. Dean, what do you got for the score prediction? The defense battle, maybe?
Prediction. I got 41-33 in favor of the Kansas City Chiefs. Like Andrew said, I think this one is going to be high scoring. Just that Chiefs offense. And the Chiefs wide receivers versus the Bucks secondary. They do have Sean Murphy Bunting and Jamal Dean back there, but I think Tyreek Hill, Mecole Hardman, and Sammy Watkins gonna burn them down the field, and I think that's another key to the game. They gotta just send guys downfield, and I just play from there. Before we go on, isn't 41-33 the score the Patriots lost to the Eagles in Super Bowl 52 or whatever?
I think it is. Yeah, I think it was 41-34.
No. Are you sure? I think it was 40. Hold on.
Super Bowl 52 score. Just asking, see, 41-33.
Yeah.
Is that wait? Is that what Dean said?
Yes.
Whoa. Is that just coincidental, or is that on purpose?
No, that's coincidental. I think that's what the score's going to be.
Wow. Okay. Alright. So, Super Bowl MVP. I'm gonna go last because I have a total curveball as mine. Dean, who do you out of the total of 106 guys on the roster for each team's combined, who do you think will win the one Super Bowl MVP?
I know who Andrew's picking, obviously, because he said a curveball, and honestly, I'm gonna go with the defensive guy too. I know this is another huge curveball. I'm gonna go with the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. This is probably the weirdest one ever. I think he's gonna make in that 41-33 game. I think there's gonna be 2 minutes left, and it's 41-33, and the Bucks are driving down the field, and then Tyrann Mathieu has a crazy interception in the end zone to seal the game, and I think that's how he'll win the most valuable player this year. And Tyrann Mathieu, just a great player in general. So I am going to go with Tyrann Mathieu. All right, sticking to my Cleveland roots, I'm gonna say Travis Kelce wins MVP, and I like this because I think he's gonna have a huge game. I think he's gonna make a couple great catches, at least 2 touchdowns. I think he's gonna have over 100 yards receiving, 10 receptions. One of the most reliable hands in the league. And it's just like I was talking about Super Bowl 52. I really think Zach Ertz should have won Super Bowl MVP over Nick Foles, but it's whatever. I'm taking Travis Kelce as the Super Bowl 55 MVP.
Alright, my curveball is going to be kinda like what Dean said with Tyrann Mathieu, but I'm going with Chris Jones, defensive tackle for the Chiefs. I think such a similar situation for the Bucks. 2 minutes left. Tom Brady needs a touchdown, and it's gonna be like third or fourth down or whatever. He's gonna get the ball. He's gonna like see a wide open guy. He's gonna try to throw it, but Chris Jones
And he's
comes.
not gonna know it's fourth down.
And he's not gonna go. No, it's fourth down again. Yeah, and then Chris Jones gets the sack. I think Chris Jones. Random prediction. I think Chris Jones has 3 sacks this game. 3. Count them. 3.
This is just like the Eagles. This is exactly, you're saying exactly what happened to the Eagles. They're driving down the field and then
Yeah.
I forget who was
It was Brandon Graham who got the strip sack.
who got the strip sack.
Yeah. So yeah, I do think Chris Jones is gonna get it. Now on offense, if I was going to pick one, Patrick Mahomes. I just think that what he's been able to do last year, he won it last year obviously, so I think he might be able to do it again. And so yeah, now we're just gonna go into some, we're just gonna be throwing some hot takes out here. Like 1 or 2 each. Let's just go around in a circle here. Me, Cream Dean. My first one is that one team will get 400 yards of offense. You know what? 450. One team will get 450 yards of offense. Whether that's the Chiefs or Bucks, I don't know. I would hope it's the Chiefs because that means you probably won. You got 450 yards of offense. Yeah, like I said, going around in a circle, just a rapid fire. Just anything that you think could happen that you might want to see happen or you think will happen. So, Kareem, do you got a hot take?
Yes,
we're like Stephen A. Smith out here. Stephen A. Smith out here.
That the first play of the game from Tom Brady is an interception, just like what happened in Super Bowl 53, or it might have been the Eagles. I forget which one. I remember his first throw being an interception in one of those. So I'm going to say Tom Brady's first throw of the game is an interception. And my second one is going to be that, once again, I'm going down the Tom Brady route. He is going to have 2 interceptions and 1 fumble. It is recovered by the Kansas City Chiefs. Those are my 2 hot takes.
Dean, getting spicy out here.
My first one is one of the quarterbacks will throw 3 interceptions.
Ooh.
Patrick Mahomes or Tom Brady. I'm leaning towards Patrick Mahomes, honestly.
Yeah, just because they throw the ball too much.
They throw the ball way too much against this caliber of a defense in Tampa Bay. And then my second one is during the second quarter, Devin White or Levante David will force 2 fumbles.
Like each. Like they will
either one of them. It could either be one, like
1 and 1 or like 2 and 0 or
one of them.
So combined they will force 2 fumbles in the second quarter alone.
In the second quarter.
Alright, and also, I'm just gonna say my other one. I think there will be 2 defensive touchdowns in this game. 1 by each team. I think the Chiefs, the way they will score will be a pick 6. And I believe the way the Bucks are going to score on defense will be a fumble return for a touchdown. And so yeah. Now, much like many people like to do, they like to predict who will have the best commercial. This is something that wasn't in the notes that, is very surprising. So, who, like we've seen some great Super Bowl ads in the past. We got the What's Up ad. We got so many great ones. Just the top of my head. We've also had some really bad ones. Flashback of Puppy Monkey Baby from 2015. Pop into my head. That thing was horrifying. So who do you think will have the top rated ad, or who do you think will make the best ad in your opinion? And just given a reputation, I personally think it's gonna be State Farm, just because they've been putting out amazing commercials recently, and they are adding a new guy to Team State Farm. I think it might be Gronk. A part of this, who do you think will be the new member of Team State Farm? I think it'll be Gronk. So I think State Farm has the best ad, and I think it's gonna be Gronk in Team State Farm.
I don't really know who's gonna join Team State Farm.
Just throw out a guess. Throw out a guess.
Baker Mayfield gets traded from Progressive to State Farm. But anyway, commercials. Some obvious choices are Doritos, Tostitos, but I'm gonna say two of them are gonna be one's Doritos and one's Progressive for Baker because I just have to go Browns. Cleveland's own. I'm gonna give this one to Dean. I'm just gonna, just flash back to last season. Everybody knows about that historic NFL 100 commercial. I think this year there's gonna be a historic COVID commercial. I think that's gonna definitely be up there, even though it is by the NFL. Obviously, pretty obvious one. I was gonna say Doritos, but I was also gonna say State Farm just because they're adding someone new. I think it has to be someone from Tampa Bay. So I would probably pick either Tom Brady just because of how many they've only picked quarterbacks in Team State Farm and I would also choose Mike Evans.
Ooh, Mike Evans. So Kareem, who did you say was gonna join Team State Farm?
I said Baker gets traded,
or
I think they might. I don't know. I feel like Russell Wilson, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. There's just this thought that Russell Wilson
maybe
could definitely be it. Yeah, I'm gonna say Russell Wilson.
Yeah. So yeah. Let us know what you guys think is gonna happen in the Super Bowl. Commercials, Team State Farm, all of that. Some hot takes that you got. Pretend to be Stephen A. Smith like we were today. And one last thing that I forgot to mention at the beginning. I made a deal with my dad, who is a Buccaneers. I mean Tom Brady. I mean Patriots fan. In all honesty, he is a Tom Brady fan. So he's been cheering for the Bucs this entire season. And then once the Pats got eliminated from the playoffs by the Dolphins, he was like, "All right, let's go Bucs," even though he was saying it all year. So anyway, I made a deal with him that if Tom Brady wins next week, he can come on the show, and he can just rave about how good Tom Brady is, and we will not say a word. We will just let him go for however long. Now, if he goes for like 10 minutes, then we'll stop him. The max is 10 minutes. So
how could you do this?
I'm sorry, I didn't tell you guys. I'm sorry.
I could never hear someone talk so highly.
You can leave for that part if you want to.
I will take my headphones out.
Alright, sounds like a plan. So yeah. Just get ready for that. So let's just hope and pray that the Chiefs. Bro, that's bad luck. You doing two. Bro, you gotta do two is bad luck. Come on, man. Oh my goodness, Kareem. You ruined it.
Say your prayers now.
So anyway, get ready for that if the Bucs win. I will not be very happy, but anyway, that is going to wrap it up for the NFL portion, and onto the MLB. If you guys want to leave, you can, or if you want to listen to this. Alright, so alright, and now onto the MLB portion. Some humongous signings that we've had this past week. Trevor Bauer, Marcell Ozuna, Colton Wong, Nelson Cruz, and the fact that pitchers and catchers are reporting to spring training very soon. So yeah, let's start with that. Pitchers and catchers are reporting to spring training in Florida and Arizona, New Mexico, all that. Within the next week or two. Very exciting, which means baseball season is just around the corner. Then we gotta go through the whole month of spring training and all that. All the games and all that. So very, very exciting news. If you're a baseball fan, I cannot wait for baseball season to be here. I love baseball. It's probably my favorite sport. So yeah. Big news for the MLB. Now, if it does get pushed back, maybe they'll have to, push back everything by a month or whatever. So yeah. Now on to the signings. We're gonna go from least to most and all that. Colton Wong to the Brewers. I believe it was a 2-year, $18 million deal, and to be honest, this doesn't make a whole lot of sense because they have Keston Hiura, who is a great hitter. Honestly, a pretty stinky defender. So whether they're gonna have Colton Wong at second or Keston Hiura at first. because obviously there's not going to be a DH in the National League this year. At least not this year. Hopefully next year they'll be smart and actually accept it. And they'll like make a smart deal. Like just the universal DH, because whoever thought to put it with the expanded playoffs go away. So anyway, Colton Wong, 2 years, $18 million with the Brewers. Not gonna kind of a confusing signing. If I'm being honest. But yeah, I just don't think the Brewers will be in a fantastic spot. To, like make a push for the division or anything like that. So Colton Wong with the Brewers, good signing. I mean, I think Colton Wong is a above average second baseman, great fielder, Gold Glove defense out there. Next one, Nelson Cruz back with the Twins, 1 year, $13 million. And obviously with the White Sox only getting better, this just had to happen at this point. He's like 40 years old. You can only sign him to 1 year contracts. He's becoming the Tom Brady of the MLB, just performing at a very high level, especially like at over age 40. So yeah, back with the Twins, 1 year, $13 million. And like I said before, with the White Sox only getting better, adding Liam Hendricks, adding Lance Lynn to that pitching core. They just needed their designated hitter Nelson Cruz to come back, which is exactly what they did. 1 year, $13 million, pretty fair deal for both sides, especially even if Nelson Cruz does take a step down from like 2019, 2020 Nelson Cruz, to like even if he doesn't hit 40 home runs, say he hits like 30, they'd be happy with that. So yeah. Next one, Marcell Ozuna, 4 years, $64 million, back with the Atlanta Braves. Now he does have an opt-out and a buyout, for that 5th season. So he can either buy out of that contract and get, $1 million, or he can, accept it and make it a 5-year, $80 million contract with the Atlanta Braves. And with no DH, this is worrisome because he is a designated hitter now. He cannot field. He's just not built for the field anymore. Whenever I say Marcell Ozuna in the field, I'm sure we all remember that one clip from when he was on the Cardinals, and like he went to rob a home run. It didn't even come close to the fence. I believe we all remember that. But like the weird thing is like he used to be a Gold Glove. He won a Gold Glove before, I believe, in Miami. So yeah, Marcell Ozuna back with the Braves. Obviously, the Braves are. I don't think you guys know this, but the Braves are my second favorite team. I love Freddie Freeman. I love Ronald Acuna Jr. Just so fun to watch. This was a big signing for the Braves to keep pace with the Mets. And to be honest, I still think the Braves could win this division because they're gonna get Mike Soroka, gonna get Max Fried. They signed Charlie Morton, which I'm not aware. I don't know why I wasn't aware of it until like 3 days ago. So big signing for the Braves. They get their slugger back, Marcell Ozuna, who obviously had a great 2020, kind of a rebound season with the Braves. So I'm definitely excited to see what he can do for the next 4 years in Atlanta, possibly 5 years. And now, the big boy signing, the biggest signing of them all so far in this offseason. I guess it is. Trevor Bauer, 3 years, $102 million with the Dodgers. He's set to make $40 million this year. Then get this, getting real close to the mic here, $45 million. $45 million for one man in a single MLB season. Holy moly, that is the highest. And clearly that is the highest annual salary of all time. You look at some of the best players in the league right now, like Mike Trout is only getting like 30 something. Machado is getting 30. Harper is getting like 33. So like highest annual salary at 45 next year. 40 is the most, and then he'll break his own record next year with 45. And his salary this year is very close to like actual teams, like their full payload. Orioles, the Pirates, and there was one other team. I forgot who it was. Maybe it was the Rockies. I'm not sure. Probably not though. But yeah, his contract is like, I think it was like 13 million less than the Pirates. I believe it was like 23 less than the Orioles, which is just, it's incredible. The fact that either those teams can just spend that little and like get away with it, because like, to be honest, the fact that one man is making almost as most as an entire team is pretty sickening. Or like the Dodgers are just ridiculously rich, which I'm leaning towards the second option here. But yeah. But more about, like the signing itself and what it means for the team. You look at that pitching staff and, oh, you thought the Dodgers was good? Oh, you thought the Padres starting rotation was good? Listen to this real quick. Trevor Bauer, Walker Buehler, Clayton Kershaw, David Price, and Julio Urias, most likely. You're telling me that David Price is a number 4 starter? He'd be a number 1 or 2 anywhere else. And then Julio Urias. He was their number 3 guy last year, and now he's moving to number 5. He'd be an excellent number 3 starter. He pitched amazing in the World Series. I'm very excited for him. Might actually draft him in fantasy baseball, to be honest. But yeah, this rotation. If I'm a Padres fan, I'm like, oh no, I am quaking in my boots right now. Cause like, here's the thing. Maybe the Padres would be able to like maybe make a case for a better pitching staff if Mike Clevenger didn't have to get Tommy John surgery. Cause then you're looking at Mike Clevenger, Blake Snell, Yu Darvish, Dinelson Lamet, and then the number 5 starter, whoever that would be. Then you can make the case, like Lamet is better. Like their number 4 would be better than Price. You could argue that like Snell or Darvish is better than Kershaw. You could argue that maybe Mike Clevenger would be the 2. But I just think Trevor Bauer is easily top 5, maybe even top 3 pitcher in the MLB. Not better than like DeGrom or anyone like that, but I just think the Dodgers are now World Series favorites. It went from like the Padres being World Series favorites from getting for getting Darvish and Snell and all that. Like maybe the Yankees getting maybe the Yankees like getting Jameson Taillon, re-signing DJ LeMahieu, and getting Corey Kluber. They'd be World Series favorites. And now the Dodgers get Trevor Bauer, and you're like, oh, I think they're the pretty obvious choice for World Series. So if I had to guess, as of right now, I'd say that I'd guess that the World Series would be Dodgers and Yankees. I think the Yankees would win. I think the Dodgers would win in 6 games. I just don't think there's any chance that you could beat them in the playoffs besides Kershaw. We all know about that. But so anyway, yeah. So that is going to wrap it up for this week's episode of the New Flame Sports Podcast. This one was definitely a blast to make. So if you like this episode, go ahead and hit the like button. If you enjoy what we are doing around here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Thank you all for 50 subscribers. I forgot to say that last week. I had to put it in the description. But thank you so much. Could not have done it without you guys. Next goal is 100. Hopefully we can hit that, maybe by the All-Star game of the MLB season. That would be my ultimate goal. I don't think that could happen. But anyway, we're shooting for the stars here. Hopefully I land close. So yeah, we will see you next week where we will be breaking down the Super Bowl, looking into the NFL offseason, and maybe more MLB news, more NBA, maybe some big NBA news that we'll be talking about. So yeah, we will see you next week.